Okay, so if you haven't heard, Andraya Yearwood is the new freshman sensation to hit the track and field world in America. She's only a freshman, and she won first place in the Connecticut High School Female State Championship in the 100 meter and the 200 meter. She won drastically. Yearwood finished the girls' 100-meter dash with a time of 12.66 seconds and the girls' 200-meter dash in 26.08 seconds. However, there's a little catch. Yearwood is a boy competing against ladies. Here's a quote from the mother. "I know they'll say it is unfair and not right, but my counter to that is, why not? She is competing and practicing and giving her all and performing and excelling based on her skills. Let that be enough. Let her do that and be proud of that. Yes, skills based on being a boy running against girls. Why is this even allowed to happen?" The Connecticut Interscholastic Athletic Conference, the CIAC, which oversees the state's high school sports, lets the student and his or her school determine gender identification for the purposes of competition. The organization asserts that it is against state and federal law to prevent a student from competing on a gender-specific sports team that aligns with the student's public gender identity, according to the Hartford Courant. All right, so here's the deal. I'm going to actually give some suggestions on things you could do to help ensure that this sort of 3 more years in Connecticut. We all know it's not fair. We all get it. Anyone with a brain understands this. Boys are always going to beat girls in athletics. This is just common biological fact. There's obviously the little, minorities in the field where girls will beat guys, but generally speaking, this is just the case. I was not the best 400 meter or 800 runner in high school, but I would have beat the girls' times in those fields drastically at the state level. And I wasn't even qualified to run state with the boys. This Yearwood character, he wouldn't have even been able to compete in the state level against the boys. His time in these events were a second less than the last place runner in those events at the state level. So this clearly is not fair competition. So if you want this to stop, here are 2 suggestions that you could follow. The first one, contact the CIAC. Their information is online. The contact information, I'll project it in this video right now. Contact them. They have mailing address, they have phone numbers, and they have fax. What I've heard best to do for activism is to send fax, because that gives an automatic flood into their office. If every single person that sees this video takes the time to fax the Connecticut Interscholastic Athletic Conference their complaint, they will be flooded with this stuff. They will have to take action because they're tired of getting all these faxes. Go ahead and mail. Go ahead and leave voicemail as well. Flood their voicemail. Call during an off hour where you're going to be able to leave messages. They're going to have hundreds of messages. Fill their inbox. They will have to begin to respond. People from all over the nation should be doing this because it affects every single state. The other thing, actually contact the executive director of the Connecticut Interscholastic Athletic Conference. Her name is Carissa Niehoff, I assume is how you'd pronounce it. All the staff are listed, so instead of just mailing the conference as a whole, you could mail the individual staff members on their website, their email, their phone number and extension. It's all given there. So I'm putting Carissa's on there for you because she is the executive director of the Connecticut Interscholastic Athletic Conference. I also was interested to know a little bit about this lady. I assume as the executive director here, she likely would be a liberal in order for endorsing such decisions and for approving for individuals to pick if they're going to run against boys or girls, irregardless of their sex. It's all up to their gender identity. And I was not surprised to find that she is gay. I can't say this 100% fact because she doesn't say it on her website. She says she's in a relationship, but she doesn't say with who. This is public knowledge, public profile. All this from a public profile. All the images, all the information I got, public profile. Every image of her besides ones where she's with herself, are with another lady. It could be a sister, could be a friend, but these pictures are across multiple years and different states. You can tell they're like spending the night together. Maybe it's a coworker and they're at the conference together. But the other lady's named Shayla. Eventually you find a time where she travels by herself and she leaves a picture saying, when I get to the hotel with this difficulty of traveling, although it's really great, apparently you get to travel Hawaii, nice places like the Biltmore State in North Carolina, a lot of great locations you get to go to in her position working here with this conference. And when she gets to the hotel, there's a picture of this, chocolates and crackers and fruit and stuff that she received, and the note says, "I love you, Shayla." Now, again, maybe it's the sister, maybe it's the roommate just sending this, but it seems as if, based on the comments and things, that they're not sisters, that they likely are lovers. And so what this would support is that the L is actually connected to the T, so LGBT. If a person endorses one of those letters, they seem to have to endorse the other. So I find it no surprise that a lesbian would endorse a transgender running against a boy who's transgender girl running against other girls and dominating them. And this is going to keep happening for another 3 years because he's only a freshman. He might as well end up sweeping and start expanding to 400, 800 mile, run them all, do them all, even throw the shot put. He'll probably beat the girls. I honestly don't know why he's not competing in more than just the 100 and the 200. That seems like a disgrace to me that he's not sweeping a lot more events. I mean, with his skills and capabilities, he should be doing a whole lot more than just winning 2 events as a guy against girls. The other thing you can do, besides flooding these people who are making these decisions, approving these decisions, allowing this stuff to be done, the policymakers, instead of annoying them with constant emails and contact, the other thing, all the women who are having to run against Andraya Yearwood, they should all boycott their races. Not a single female student should run or participate in any event in which he is running in. Let him win the event all by himself. Let him be the only one to run. I know that the team then will lose points from not getting the second and third place points, but if every single time he runs, no matter just a local meet, regional meet, state meet, if he's always having to run by himself because no girl is going to run with him in the girl event because they know they're not running against a girl, they're running against a boy, it will ultimately also force people to make a decision on this. Anytime, any place where this happens, if it's in Alaska where that other kid got to win some big race because he was a boy running with girls, all girls boycott, and you're going to start to see some action here. I would even maybe suggest the team completely boycott, and then that will certainly cause some movement in the right direction. Other thing, you could even contact the coach because the coach is praising him up and down, talking like, "Oh, well, our girls are actually pretty excited because they now have a girl that runs really fast, and that means a lot of points for our girl team. So yeah, the girls here on the team that are having to compete against them too to get the best spot on the team, they're not even that upset because it just means more points for the team." Yeah, right. In what delusional world are you living?